The red on-air sign glowed like a warning in the darkness of Studio 14B. Marcus Chen adjusted his headphones and leaned into the microphone, his voice smooth as aged whiskey sliding through the speakers of 10,000 cars, bedrooms, and lonely apartments across the city. You're listening to Midnight Confessions on WKRT 104.7. I'm Marcus Chen, and we're taking your calls until 2 a.m. Lines are open. Tell me your secrets, your fears, your stories that keep you awake at night. The phone lines lit up like always. Marcus screened through the usual fare: insomniacs, night shift workers, the occasional drunk calling to dedicate a song to an ex. Then line 3 blinked. Something about it felt different. He couldn't say why. Line 3, you're on the air. Static crackled. Then a voice, gender-neutral and oddly modulated, whispered through his headphones. "I can see you, Marcus." He felt a chill trace down his spine, but maintained his professional demeanor. "Well, that's what happens when you're on the radio, friend, metaphorically speaking." "No," the voice insisted. "I can see you, right now. The coffee stain on your left sleeve. Did you spill it during the 11:30 commercial break?" Marcus's eyes dropped to his shirt. The brown stain bloomed across the fabric, exactly where the caller described. He'd grabbed his mug too quickly when reaching for a CD. His laugh came out forced. "Lucky guess. Or maybe you work in the building." 14th floor. Locked doors, security desk downstairs. "No, Marcus, I'm much closer than that." He disconnected the call, a bead of sweat forming at his temple, despite the studio's air conditioning. Probably just a prank. Someone who worked in the building, saw him in the elevator or the lobby. Nothing to worry about. But Marcus found himself glancing at the window, a rectangular panel of darkness reflecting the studio's dim lights back at him. Beyond it, nothing but night and the city sprawled far below. 14 stories of empty air between him and the street. The second night, the caller returned. "Line 3 again," his producer Jenny's voice crackled through his headphones from the booth next door. "Same number. Want me to block it?" Marcus hesitated. "Put them through." "Hello again, Marcus." That same unsettling voice. "You changed your shirt. Smart. But you forgot about the pen. You're tapping it against the console. 3 times, pause, then twice. You always do that when you're nervous." Marcus's hand froze, the pen poised in midair. He hadn't even realized he'd been doing it. "Who is this?" "I told you, I can see you. Every gesture, every moment. You checked your phone during the last song. A text from your sister asking about Sunday dinner. You didn't respond." The phone felt like ice in Marcus's pocket. He'd silenced it, kept it face down on the desk. There was no way anyone could have seen the screen. Unless... His eyes drifted to the window again. Still nothing but darkness, and his own pale reflection staring back, mouth slightly open, eyes wide. "This isn't funny," Marcus said, his voice harder now. "How are you doing this?" "The question isn't how, Marcus. It's why." The line went dead. That night, after his shift ended at 2 a.m., Marcus stood at the window for 20 minutes, staring out into the void. The city lights twinkled below like scattered stars. Nothing moved in the air outside. Nothing could. It was impossible. He checked with building security. No breaches, no one suspicious entering or leaving. The building across the street was an old warehouse, abandoned, too far away for anyone to see clearly into the studio even with binoculars. By the third night, Marcus had almost convinced himself it was an elaborate technical hack. Someone had accessed the studio's security cameras remotely, was watching the feeds and calling to mess with him. He'd filed a report with IT. They'd found nothing wrong with the system. "Midnight Confessions, you're on the air," Marcus said, when line 3 lit up again. "You don't believe it's real." The voice sounded almost sad. "You've rationalized it away. Cameras, you think. Technology. But Marcus, I'm not in the cameras. I can see things the cameras can't see. Like the scar on your left shoulder blade from the car accident when you were 16. Or the way you whisper, 'I'm sorry,' under your breath every time you play that Radiohead song, the one that was playing when Emily told you she was leaving." Marcus's blood turned to ice water. The scar was hidden beneath his shirt. The whispered apology was a private ritual, something he did unconsciously, something no one else knew about because it was barely audible even to himself. "What do you want?" His voice cracked. "I want you to listen, Marcus, really listen, because soon you're going to have to make a choice, and if you make the wrong one," the caller paused. "Well, let's just say there are worse things than being watched." "Worse things? Like what?" "Like being replaced." The fourth night, Marcus almost didn't show up for work. But curiosity, or perhaps something darker, some masochistic need to understand, pulled him back to Studio 14B. He'd spent the day researching stalkers, schizophrenia, elaborate pranks. Nothing fit. Nothing explained how the caller knew things that were impossible to know. The night dragged on. 11 o'clock became midnight. Midnight crawled toward 1. Line 3 stayed dark. At 1:47 a.m., Marcus made a decision. He would stay past his usual 2 a.m. sign-off. If someone was watching, really watching, maybe they'd reveal themselves. Maybe he could finally end this. This is Marcus Chen, and we're extending Midnight Confessions tonight. Keep those calls coming. He switched to music, queuing up a longer track. 1:55 a.m. The city outside looked different in the witching hours, darker somehow, more primal. Marcus stood and walked to the window, pressing his forehead against the cool glass. Below, cars moved like blood cells through arteries of light. Above, the sky hung heavy and starless. 2:03 a.m. Movement. At first, Marcus thought it was a reflection, his tired mind playing tricks, but then he saw it clearly. A face pressed against the glass from outside. Impossible. 14 stories up, nothing but air and gravity, yet there it was. The face was screaming silently, mouth open in a rictus of terror, eyes wide with desperate warning, and the face was his own.
Marcus stumbled backward, his chair clattering to the floor. His doppelganger outside the window was pounding on the glass now, smearing it with handprints that couldn't exist, forming words with lips that matched his own. "Run! Turn around! It's here!" The phone rang. "Line 3. Marcus's hand trembled as he reached for it. The face outside the window was shaking its head frantically, still screaming soundlessly. But Marcus picked up anyway. "Hello, Marcus." His own voice, perfect replica, spoke in his ear. "Don't turn around. It's been standing behind you since Tuesday." What are you?" "I'm you, or what's left of you. The part that's still aware, still fighting. Listen carefully, you don't have much time. It's been there for 3 days, learning you, studying you, every gesture, every word, every thought. When it knows you completely, it will step into you like a suit of clothes, and this version of you, the real you, will be pushed out, erased. Do you understand?" Marcus's skin crawled. Every instinct screamed at him to turn around, to look, to confirm the insanity of what he was being told. But his other self's warning echoed in his mind. "Don't turn around." "How do I stop it?" "You can't stop it. You can only choose. Turn around and face it, acknowledge its presence, and the process accelerates. You'll be replaced within the hour. Keep your back to it, finish your shift, and maybe you can make it until sunrise. It's weaker in daylight. You might be able to get away." "This is insane. This can't be real." "Look at the security monitor, Marcus. Bottom right corner. Tell me what you see." Marcus's eyes drifted to the small monitor showing the security feed. There he was, standing by the console, phone pressed to his ear, and behind him, in the corner where the boom mic stand cast its shadow, something else stood. It was tall, impossibly thin, with too many joints in its limbs. Its head was featureless, save for where its face should be, a swirling void that seemed to be slowly, deliberately reshaping itself. As Marcus watched, frozen, the void began to solidify. A nose formed, a mouth, eyes. His nose, his mouth, his eyes. It was stealing his face. "Do you see it now?" His own voice whispered through the phone. "Do you believe?" "Yes. God, yes." "Then listen very carefully. Don't turn around. Don't acknowledge it. And whatever you do, don't let it touch you. Physical contact accelerates the process. You need to stay on air. Keep talking. Keep the lights on and the music playing. It feeds on silence and darkness. Fill the space with sound and light." "How long?" 93 minutes until sunrise. You can make it." The line went dead. Marcus stood frozen, phone still pressed to his ear, eyes locked on the security monitor. The thing behind him hadn't moved, but its face was nearly complete now. In minutes, anyone looking at that monitor would see two identical versions of Marcus Chen standing in Studio 14B. He forced himself to move, to walk back to the console, to keep his back to the corner where it stood. His hands shook as he queued up another song, something loud, something bright and alive. The music flooded the studio. "This is Marcus Chen, and we're still here on Midnight Confessions," his voice remarkably steady. "Taking your calls until sunrise. Tell me something happy. Tell me something that makes you want to live." The calls came. People with stories of love, of children's laughter, of second chances and unexpected grace. Marcus held on to each one like a lifeline, letting their words fill the studio, push back the darkness. He didn't look at the monitor again. He didn't need to. He could feel it behind him, patient and hungry, waiting for one wrong move, one moment of acknowledgement.
The minutes crawled. His neck ached from keeping his head forward, his eyes on the console, the window, anywhere but behind. Twice he felt breath on the back of his neck, cold and wrong, smelling of copper and old earth. Twice he ignored it. At 3:47 a.m., the lights flickered. "No," Marcus whispered. "No, no, no, no." He grabbed his phone, turned on its flashlight, aimed it at the ceiling. The overhead fluorescent stabilized, but in that moment of dimness, he'd seen something in the window's reflection. The thing had moved closer, much closer. It was directly behind him now. "Keep talking," Marcus told himself. "Keep the light on. Keep going." But his voice was failing, his throat dry. How much longer? How many more minutes until dawn? The window outside began to lighten almost imperceptibly. 4:30, 5, the sky shifting from black to deep blue to the pale gray of early morning. At 5:47 a.m., the first ray of sunlight struck the studio window. Marcus felt it immediately, a release of pressure, like a hand lifting from his shoulder. He risked a glance at the security monitor. The corner was empty, but as he watched, text scrolled across the bottom of the monitor's screen, white letters on black. "Next time, Marcus. Next time, I'll be faster." Outside the window, his doppelganger was gone. Inside the studio, Marcus Chen sat alone, breathing hard, alive, himself, for now. He looked at the phone. Line 3 blinked, waiting. Against every instinct, he picked it up. "This is Marcus Chen," he said. "You're on the air." Only static answered, and then, very faintly, the sound of something breathing, waiting, learning. "Midnight Confessions will return tomorrow night. Same time, same station. I'll be here." He would be here. But as he signed off and the on-air light finally went dark, Marcus couldn't shake the feeling that the next time line 3 rang, the voice on the other end would sound exactly like his own. And eventually, it would be.